With free agency right around the corner, many of us are wondering what Ben Johnson will do in his first free agency as head coach of the Chicago Bears with Ryan Poles. Well, according to ESPN, two notable Bears players could be on their way out. And I got thought. Welcome back to Bears Yard. This your boy Vipe. And yes, according to ESPN's Courtney Cronin, two notable names on the Bears roster could be on their way out. Those names being Teven Jenkins and Keenan Allen. Now, I just made a whole video about my thoughts about Keenan Allen, so let me start with Teven Jenkins first. Before I start in on Teven Jenkins, let me say, when he is healthy, key phrase, when he is healthy, he is an amazing offensive lineman. The dude will finish a block, he'll protect a quarterback, he will stand up anybody in the league, and he has a dog to him when he's healthy. The problem with Teven Jenkins is that he's rarely healthy. Now, Harrison Graham over at Bears Now did some deep digging into Teven's recent availability, and the numbers simply just do not look good for Teven Jenkins, especially considering he's going to be commanding big money this offseason. So if we look at this chart here that Harrison drew up at Bears Now, just over the past 3 seasons, Teven Jenkins has only played 61.9% of the offensive snaps the Bears have had. Just think about that for a minute, you all. An offensive lineman, an offensive guard, one of the most critical pieces of a team's offense. He's only played 61% of all offensive snaps. That is not a good look. But when you look at what happened this season or this past season alone, it gets worse for Teven Jenkins. And the numbers can be a little bit deceiving on his part as well, because technically he played in 14 games this past season. But according to Harrison's research, out of the 14 games that Teven Jenkins played this past season, he was only available for 49.9% of the snaps. So what does that mean, Bear fans? That means that Teven Jenkins played in a lot of games, but did not finish the game because of one injury or another. The man has just been injury-riddled, injury-prone, and you can't rely on him to be consistently there as an offensive lineman. And one of the biggest things about being a successful offensive lineman and a successful offensive line in general in the NFL is having continuity among that front five. And Teven Jenkins does not give you the continuity that you need to be confident in him moving forward as an offensive lineman for the Chicago Bears. So I cannot see Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles re-signing Teven Jenkins. It would be foolish even to consider re-signing him, given that his availability is practically 50%. But before I get into Keenan Allen, if you want more of my Bears thoughts and opinions, be sure to hit subscribe as I'm dropping them every Monday through Friday here on the channel. Now, about Keenan Allen. I just made a video talking about Keenan Allen, but for those of y'all who missed the video, last season we paid Keenan Allen some $23 million. And you know what we got for that $23 million, you all? 47 pass catches, some 700 some odd yards, 6 touchdowns. So for that production, we definitely did not get $23 million worth out of Keenan Allen. Now, this upcoming 2025 season, Keenan Allen is going to be 33 years old. He's already past his prime. He's definitely lost a step. He's not the receiver that he once was. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's definitely not the Keenan Allen of years past. Not to mention the fact that he is injury prone. He missed a few games this last season. And you just cannot pay him the money that he's going to be commanding to return to the Chicago Bears. Like I said in my video, I don't think Keenan Allen is signing anywhere for less than $17 million a year. He would have to take a significant pay cut for me to even consider bringing him back. And even with a significant pay cut, I don't believe that signing him is in the best interest of Ben Johnson, Ryan Poles, and the Chicago Bears. Viper, why do you feel that way? In my opinion, we need to go a different direction with wide receiver. We need a speedy wide receiver, somebody that can actually threaten a defense. And the last time I checked, Keenan Allen's not threatening anybody in defense. He's not going vertical. He's not taking the top off of defense. He's not running by anybody. The reason why I am so hell-bent on getting a speedy wide receiver is that having one could open up the field for Rome and DJ and Cole Kmet to operate more freely and be more successful in the pass game. With Keenan Allen there, they were all bunched up this year, and a lot of times they were all in the same locations, and it just made the pass offense look sloppy and unorganized and just bad. So let Keenan Allen go, get you a speedy wide receiver, and maybe having a vertical threat here will open up the field for Rome and DJ and Cole to be more productive in the pass game and give Kalen more options moving forward here in 2025. But if you think we should keep Tevin and Keenan, drop a comment. And speaking of comments, I got a comment recently from my man Plank about the Bears running back situation. And Plank said, I'd really like to see how Ian Wheeler performs. We don't need to sign a running back in free agency. I'm not against drafting one, though. Bear down vibe. Shout out to my man Plank. That comment was in response to my last video that I did about how I feel Bear fans are having the wrong conversation about what we should do with the running back room. And I truly hope that Ian Wheeler does get a chance. But if you want to check out my full thoughts about the Bears running back situation, watch that video right there.